And now I have the pleasure to introduce as the next speaker Her Excellency, Honorable Mrs. Frida Belinda Adeline Tukey, Minister of Women, Youth, Children and Family Affairs of Solomon Islands. Thank you, Ambassador.
Madam President, Madam Director General, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, let me begin by saying that it is indeed a privilege for me and members of my delegates to be representing our country, Solomon Islands, at the 38th session of the General Conference of UNESCO. And an honor for me, in particular, to say a few remarks on this wonderful occasion in front of such esteemed dignitaries who have gathered at this conference. Mr. President, I wish to extend our government and people of Solomon Islands greetings to you as President of the General Conference of UNESCO. I would also like to express my government's acknowledgement with thanks to UNESCO for its continued support in our education reform programs, particularly early childhood care and education, basic education program, teacher professional development, and disaster preparedness initiatives for schools that aim to improve our systems so that they can respond to the impact of natural disasters such as cyclone. Mr. President, Solomon Islands applaud UNESCO and other UN agencies for the vision to develop a new education agenda. Education 2030, which is fully captured in the Sustainable Development Goal 4, and it is corresponding targets which aim to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Mr. President, this is a challenging aim indeed for a small island developing state like Solomon Islands. The new education agenda is adeptly holistic and ambitious and aspirational and associate well with my country's dream to educate every citizen in our country. Nonetheless, Mr. President, Solomon Islands will strive to make a difference towards our young people education so that they can realize their full potential and are better prepared for the challenges ahead. Education is undoubtedly the tool for change and progress and the main driver of development and in achieving the proposed Sustainable Development Goals. Hence, my country's commitment to invest more in education in the coming years. Mr. President, in this regard, I wish to inform you about the preparatory work that my government through our Ministry of Education has made to implement the Sustainable Development Goals, especially those who are concerned with further development of education in my country. Mr. President, the three broad goals of education reform program that my country is currently implementing are to improve access to education at all levels of our education system, quality of education in terms of teachers' effectiveness and better learning strategy for students, and management of resources at the national, provincial education authority and school level. Mr. President, since Solomon Islands began comprehensive education reform in 2004, our country has made educationally advanced, particularly in terms of improved access to primary education. Although progress was slow than what we hoped, but the good news is that many of our school-age children are now attending primary and junior secondary schools. The literacy and numeracy standard of our primary school pupils have also increased. However, we need to work hard to improve access and quality of education, not only at the early child care and education level, but also at the senior secondary education level. Mr. President, there is now a growing emphasis on the equality of education in my country, especially to improve the quality of teaching and learning process so that our students can acquire essential knowledge, skills, and attitudes that require to earn a living as well as to contribute towards the social and economic development of Solomon Island. Mr. President, in order to strengthen our education reform initiatives, our ministry has progressed work more recently on the development of our new education sector strategy framework, which will take my country through 2030, as well as develop our 5 years so-called medium-term national education plans and education action plans. These plans are aligned with the Sustainable Development Goal to guide the development of education. And Mr. President, although we have made moderate progress in our efforts to improve the quality of education and learning opportunities for our children and youths, Solomon Islands still need to work hard to implement programs and activities of UNESCO sectoral mandates, such as develop an approach that can enable us to integrate traditional and scientific knowledge in the management of impact of climate change and natural hazards. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Excellencies.